Right now, a Good Morning America first look. President Trump promising a major announcement today about autism, expected to link the disorder to a popular pain medication and announce a potential treatment. We hear from doctors.
The moving memorial for Charlie Kirk, the president and vice president paying tribute, and the powerful words from his widow, why she says she forgives her husband's accused killer.
New images as severe weather slams parts of the South, flipping over tractor trailers and RVs, collapsing part of a Walmart warehouse.
President Trump now demanding Attorney General Pam Bondi investigate his political enemies, including Senator Adam Schiff and New York's Attorney General. We ask, is Bondi's job in jeopardy if she fails to indict them?
Karen Reed, the woman acquitted of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend, back in court, going back on trial.
Plus, what we're learning about a deadly tiger attack in Oklahoma.
The stunning catch in Major League Baseball, and this was only the first amazing catch of the game by that player.
And later, what's behind this bizarre costume party in the sky?
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good Monday morning. I'm Perry Russom.
I'm Elizabeth Schulze. We're going to begin with the Trump administration promising a major announcement about autism today.
The administration is expected to link autism to a popular pain medication and announce a potential treatment. Here's ABC's Alison Kosik.
President Trump today is expected to announce his administration has, quote, found an answer to autism. He spoke about the disorder overnight while returning to the White House.
Now it's 1 in 12. Actually, boys are 1 in 12 and 1 in 10. I mean, can you imagine? So there's obviously something artificial that's really wrong. And we think we know what that is.
The Washington Post reports the administration is planning to link autism to the use of Tylenol in pregnancy and is expected to claim that the FDA-approved cancer drug leucovorin is a possible treatment for autism. Both claims raising concern among many doctors.
It's extremely dangerous to raise fear and alarm in pregnant women. Why add to the misery and the fear-mongering when it is based on very limited evidence?
No studies have proven that use of Tylenol, known as acetaminophen, by pregnant women is a cause for autism. Some limited evidence suggests it's associated with higher rates of neurological issues, but those studies have been mixed. The maker of Tylenol saying, "We believe independent, sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise." Scientists who've been studying autism for decades warn the administration's timeline examining this has been too short to come up with a single cause.
I'm very concerned that women who experience fevers will elect not to treat that fever because we know the fever is associated with poor child outcomes.
Doctors and autism researchers point to figures showing rates of Tylenol use during pregnancy have declined in recent years, even as rates of autism have increased. As for the possible use of leucovorin as an autism treatment, many doctors again voicing skepticism.
We need to do large-scale randomized trials before we can say with any certainty that this is a treatment that autistic children should receive.
Doctors say the reason they recommend Tylenol in pregnancy is that it is known to be a safer medication than Advil, Motrin, or aspirin because it's not associated with bleeding and when used appropriately can lower the risk of fever-induced risks with pregnancy. Elizabeth, Perry?
Allison, thank you. A severe storm tore through North Texas with inch-sized hail and 65-mile-per-hour winds. It was powerful enough to damage RVs, overturn 18-wheelers, and injure at least one person. The storm also ripped a giant hole nearly 50 feet wide in the roof of this Walmart warehouse in Denton County.
Now to Arizona, the memorial for Charlie Kirk. Tens of thousands of people coming together, many waiting in line since dawn. The president and vice president paying tribute to Kirk, but it was his widow who delivered the most powerful remarks. A stunning moment at Sunday's memorial service for Charlie Kirk as his widow, Erica, forgave his killer.
He wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did. and is what Charlie would do.
Erica Kirk says she's honored to be the new CEO of Turning Point USA, the organization her husband founded. She vows to continue his legacy of embracing debate with political opponents.
The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica.
President Trump remembering his friend who helped re-elect him.
He's a martyr now for American freedom.
Trump embracing Kirk's widow as America the Beautiful rang out. Kirk tells the New York Times she had urged her husband to wear a bulletproof vest before his final campus tour. She says she now wears the pendant of St. Michael, the same one he had around his neck when he was killed. It's still marked with blood from the attack. The 5-hour service attracting tens of thousands to State Farm Stadium near Phoenix. The memorial at times resembling a church revival. Vice President J.D. Vance was a close friend of Kirk's.
We know we wouldn't be here without him. Charlie built an organization that reshaped the balance of our politics.
Vance noting nearly the entire Trump cabinet was there. Elon Musk also seen meeting with Trump for the first time since their fallout in June. The service a show of unity, supporters pledging to keep Kirk's mission alive.
You ran a good race, my friend. I love you. We've got it from here. Thank you.
President Trump says he will honor Kirk with the Medal of Freedom.
President Trump is calling on Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate his political enemies. The pressure campaign heating up with his post on social media this weekend targeting his critics, including New York's Attorney General. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details. Nicole, good morning.
Elizabeth, good morning. President Trump is demanding Attorney General Pam Bondi take action against his political foes. In a post over the weekend, he named former FBI Director James Comey, California Senator Adam Schiff, and New York Attorney General Letitia James, saying they impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. The president also took credit for the resignation of the U.S. attorney in Eastern Virginia, who did not bring a criminal case against Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud. Trump saying he will now appoint one of his own former attorneys, Lindsay Halligan, to the post. As for Pam Bondi, ABC's Selena Wang asked Trump yesterday if her job is on the line.
Will you fire Pam Bondi if Letitia James is not indicted?
No, she's doing a great job. Pam Bondi is doing a great job.
Have you ever threatened DOJ leadership if they don't prosecute Letitia James or Jim Comey?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I mean, I look at the facts like everybody else. You read the facts, and to me, she looks terrible. She looks like she's very guilty, but that's going to be up to the DOJ.
Meanwhile, sources say Trump's Justice Department has shut down an investigation into border czar Tom Homan. An FBI sting operation last year allegedly caught Homan taking $50,000 from undercover agents posing as businessmen. The White House says it was a political investigation that found no evidence of illegal activity. Perry.
Nicole D'Antonio live in Washington. Nicole, thanks. And a former employee at a New Hampshire country club is due in court today, accused of fatally shooting a man inside his former workplace. Hunter Nadeau is charged with second-degree murder. Police say he opened fire at a club in Nashua during a wedding reception on Saturday. 59-year-old Robert DeCesar was killed. 2 others were wounded. One guest may have saved a number of lives by hitting the suspect in the head with a chair.
Some key American allies now say they will formally recognize the state of Palestine. The UK, Australia, Canada, and Portugal have already come forward, and more are expected to echo that largely symbolic move this week at the UN. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said there will be no Palestinian state. Israel's ongoing ground operation in Gaza City has forced 500,000 people to flee their homes.
In Tokyo, Team USA has struck gold. Sha'Carri Richardson anchored the U.S. women to a win in the 4x100 meters at the World Championships, holding off Jamaica and Germany. The U.S. men also won gold. Time now for your Monday weather.
Good morning. We're watching for the possibility of flash flooding northeastern Texas up through parts of Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, southern Missouri. 2 to 4 inches of rain, a possibility with any of those thunderstorms. And then more storms firing up during the afternoon hours, particularly over parts of Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle, southern Kansas, another batch from eastern Nebraska into western parts of Iowa. That can contain strong winds, hail, and even some isolated tornadoes. Tropics getting pretty active out there. Gabrielle moving out to sea, but a couple of other systems to keep an eye on during the next several days. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Coming up, we remember the man behind a famous TV theme song.
Also ahead is Amazon Prime, too hard to cancel. The online retailer goes on trial.
And later, why more people are riding the rails these days.
Who can turn the world on with her smile?
The man behind that Mary Tyler Moore Show theme song has died. Sonny Curtis was a member of Buddy Holly's band, The Crickets. He went on to write Rock Right Back for the Everly Brothers and I Fought the Law, performed by the Bobby Fuller Four. Sonny Curtis was 88.
Amazon goes on trial today, fighting claims that its Prime service is too hard to cancel. The FTC accuses Amazon of tricking about 40 million customers into either signing up or keeping their paid subscriptions. The trial begins days after a judge ruled the company broke the law by taking subscribers' information before disclosing the terms.
Now to another trial, this one involving Karen Reed. The Boston area woman acquitted of murder is due back in court. Today, Karen Reed goes back on trial, just 3 months after a jury acquitted her of murder in the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe.
Defendant not guilty or guilty?
The O'Keefe family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Reed and 2 bars in Canton, Massachusetts, seeking at least $50,000 in damages for pain and suffering. The family accuses Reed of killing O'Keefe and claims the bars overserved her the night of his death. Prosecutors had accused Reed of backing her SUV into O'Keefe, then driving away, leaving him to die in the snow after a night of drinking.
Could you have been angry enough and slightly drunk because he had annoyed you that in the fit of rage you just backed up? And
Never. Reed's lawyers insist she never hit O'Keefe and that she was framed as part of a law enforcement cover-up. Reed was found not guilty of second-degree murder and manslaughter charges, but was convicted of operating a vehicle under the influence and sentenced to 1 year of probation. A previous trial in 2024 ended in a mistrial. Alan Jackson, Reed's lawyer during the criminal trial, is now spearheading her defense in the civil trial. He sat down with Billy Bush to discuss the case.
I said this before, nothing's off the table, no one's off the table. They're all said, look, they wanted to bring a lawsuit. They brought the lawsuit. We didn't bring a lawsuit. We're defending a lawsuit.
Earlier this year, John O'Keefe's friend, Brendan Kane, said he feels his loss every day.
What I really want is just justice for the family and those that love Johnny.
In a civil lawsuit, the person bringing the case has to show that their side of the story is more likely true than not.
All right, coming up, the famous faces who could soon be running TikTok right here in the U.S.
Also ahead, what we're learning about a deadly tiger attack in Oklahoma.
More Americans are riding the rails, turning to trains to escape traffic. We have some new numbers from Amtrak that show Amtrak ridership was up 20% in the last year, thanks in part to equipment upgrades, but also thanks to highway congestion and the price of gas, so analysts say more people are also trying to avoid the hassles at the airport.
President Trump says 2 of the top names in the Fox empire will likely form part of the group that takes over TikTok's algorithm in the U.S. Trump says Fox Corps CEO Lachlan Murdoch will be among the board members, and his father Rupert will likely be in the group. Larry Ellison and Michael Dell are also expected to have a role. President Trump has addressed the Pentagon's new rule for reporters, which demands that journalists pledge not to gather any information, including unclassified documents, unless they're pre-approved for release. When asked if the Pentagon should decide what reporters can report, Trump said no, adding, quote, nothing stops reporters. But he was not clear whether he's willing to override the new rule.
We now turn to Oklahoma and a deadly tiger attack. This morning, the family of tiger handler Ryan Easley is in mourning after he was mauled to death at his tiger preserve in Oklahoma.
Oh no, we're not going to be grumpy.
Sources say Easley was performing a tiger demonstration using finger paint to make paw prints on canvases that are handed out to the audience. He had raised the tiger since it was a cub, but during the demonstration, the animal turned on him. Authorities say he died almost instantly. The Growler Pines Tiger Preserve, which Easley ran with his family, saying he dedicated his life to the protection and care of these magnificent animals, and he believed deeply in the mission of Growler Pines to provide a safe and forever enriching home for the animals under his care. This tragedy is a painful reminder of both the beauty and unpredictability of the natural world. But people for the ethical treatment of animals criticizing Easley, calling his business a roadside zoo, accusing him of abusing tigers, claiming he was caught whipping one animal dozens of times. PETA says Easley acquired animals from infamous tiger handler Joe Exotic, known as the Tiger King. Exotic is currently serving prison time for murder for hire plot and animal abuse. Exotic responding saying, Ryan built a huge compound to keep his tigers in on the backside of my zoo. PETA doesn't know crap. The preserve's website says the business provides a safe and comfortable life for tigers and has passed 32 surprise inspections without an issue. Easley is survived by his wife and daughter. A fundraising site set up for them has already raised more than $15,000. It's not clear what happens to the tiger involved. The preserve has canceled all upcoming tours.
Coming up, one player, one game, and two amazing catches.
Plus, officers battle an alligator on somebody's front porch. All right, time to check the pulse. We begin with a pair of amazing catches in Major League Baseball.
Both by the same guy in the same game. The Nationals taking on the Mets when National center fielder Jacob Young chases a fly ball to the fence. He jumps, the ball bounces off his glove, then he does a hacky sack move, kicks it, before finally making the grab. Look at that.
Hacky sack in your Midwest accent, outstanding. All right, then later in the ninth, it's Young going back again, making a leap and robbing what could have been a game-tying home run. What a game. Did I say it right? Game.
Oh, yeah. On Sunday Night Football, the winless Giants hosted the winless Chiefs. It was 6-6 for much of the first half. Eventually, Patrick Mahomes connected to Tyquan Thornton, and Kansas City started scoring in the second half, picking up their first win of the season, 22-9. Next up, the anime posting records at the box office.
Not for that guy. Yeah. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle made more than $104 million in its first 9 days in theaters. Industry experts say Gen Z has really driven the genre to record heights. It's the highest earning anime in history, passing Pokemon the movie back in 1999. All right, next, police officers, they're usually prepared for anything when they show up to work.
But some deputies in Florida were not expecting to be in a cage match with an alligator sitting on someone's front porch. Yes, that is music that the police department put on that video. They followed the gator around to the backyard where a drone video shows them capturing it very carefully. They say this isn't the first time they've answered this kind of call for help. And finally, a costume party in the sky.
It's an annual event. It's in the French Alps. A skateboarding monkey, a giant squid, even a hospital bed, all taking flight in what's called the Icarus Cup. Paragliders turn the mountains into a floating carnival. The festival has been around for about 5 decades.
Checking more top stories. Today, President Trump is expected to announce Tylenol use during pregnancy could increase the risk of autism. The Washington Post reports he's also expected to outline a potential treatment using a cancer drug. Both claims have health experts concerned.
And the White House is clarifying President Trump's new $100,000 fee on visas for skilled tech workers. Officials say the fee will not apply to existing visa holders.
A cyber attack is disrupting check-in systems at some European airports for another day. Hundreds of flights are canceled in Brussels.
Well, the cost of the American dream is now $5 million per household. That's a sharp increase from last year. The survey looks at the lifetime cost of funding 8 key components of the American dream. That includes owning a home, health care, and raising kids.
Today's weather mostly dry in the west, rain for much of the Midwest, hot in the south, partly sunny in the Northeast.
And finally, they started with jam sessions at home.
Now they are playing with rock stars. Danny New has their story.
So 1, 2, 3, take my hand and come with me because you're looking so fine and I really want to make you mine.
When famous rock bands play with these songs for Kids Foundation, founder Josh Rifkin says this is often the feedback.
All the band members are like, thank you. Like, we needed this.
For nearly 20 years, this nonprofit has been offering music mentorships and programs for kids and young adults with disabilities and illnesses.
So much going on these days.
And Josh says groups are usually blown away when they visit their center in Atlanta to play with these young rock stars.
So how do you reach someone who isn't like you. Well, music is a great way to do that.
However, this past summer was a big one for their newly formed Songs for Kids band. They just wrapped up their first national tour, both playing by themselves and opening for internationally touring acts.
Ruby, you want to tell them about your song?
Hi guys, my name is Ruby.
Here they are in Colorado with Australian rockers King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, as Ruby here performs a Song for Kids band original, What's Your Favorite Stuff?
My name is Ruby, and my favorite foods are hummus and toast. Hummus and toast.
They make it look easy, but Josh says this tour took months of preparation.
Performance, confidence, memorizing the lyrics.
Well, the tour may be over now, but the band is still performing around Atlanta. Look at this reaction to just one note this past weekend. These are the moments Josh refers to as, quote, lightning bolts.
I don't think they're lucky to have us. I think we're lucky to have them.
And guys, Josh tells me they are working on expanding all over the country, starting first with Nashville and then New York. And if you're interested in rocking out, their website is songsforkids.org.
Thanks, Dan. They sound great, don't they?
They do. So adorable, too.
That's your Good Morning America First Look.
Have a great Monday.